Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. So, is there anyone else
fighting Keith Thurman?
You think Keith Thurman is a harder matchup for Kell Brook than Errol Spence is?
Keith Thurman is a harder matchup for Kell. Yes, I do, because Keith Thurman got more experience fighting bigger competition, better competition.
And you think Errol Spence, if he were to fight Keith Thurman, that would be a more difficult fight than Kell Brook?
Yes. Keith Thurman is the hardest fight for any one of them, because he's actually getting better. Keith Thurman is getting better. He's still showing room for improvement every fight. In his last fight against Danny Garcia, he was pretty fucking sharp in there. He had a great game plan. Or the other fighter, the wild card fighter in that, is my man Lamont Peterson. Hard fight for anybody.
What about Lucas Matthysse? He just came up. Do you think he can bounce back in this new division?
Nope.
Why? He's fighting on the Canelo Chavez undercard.
At what weight?
He's moving to welter.
Yeah, that might have been a problem for him making that 40. Who he fighting?
He's fighting against the guy Broner fought in Cincinnati, Emmanuel Taylor. Kareem fought him too.
Oh, Emmanuel Taylor? That's a tough fight. But I don't know, because the way Emmanuel Taylor fight.
And Emmanuel Taylor, I don't know if he's fought at 47.
Yeah, but he's better at 47 because he had trouble. That's one of the reasons why. Yeah, that before he been at 40 for a long time. I don't know. Just don't be in a high guard early against Lucas Matthysse, because he gonna hit you hard as fuck.
Tim Bradley said he was the hardest puncher that he in sparring. Yeah, he said harder than Ruslan and Pacquiao, and he said it was
them motherfuckers, them Argentinians, be hit hard. And
so do you think he could bounce back at welterweight? Like besides the Taylor, you think Lucas Matthysse, could he beat Danny Garcia in the rematch at 47? Could he beat Amir Khan?
No, he would have to fight different.
To beat Danny?
Yeah, you can't come to Danny Garcia. You can't come towards him and think you're gonna beat him, because he gonna box the shit out of you and be hitting you with shit. You gotta box him.
What about Lamont Peterson rematch?
Against who?
Matthysse. A rematch. At 47.
At 47. I will go with Lamont, because he'll learn from his mistakes on the first one and box him early and then come on in the second half.
Keith Thurman versus Matthysse.
Keith Thurman. Matthysse is too small. Too small. Diego Chavez.
What about Terrence Crawford, Matthysse?
Terrence Crawford, because he's gonna box you and stay away from the power. I want to see Diego Chavez fight somebody.
He deserves a fight.
He deserves.
What about Jesse Vargas, Diego Chavez?
That's a good fight.
That's a scrap.
I'm going with Diego Chavez.
Where is Diego Chavez? Where's he been?
Shit, motherfuckers don't want to fight him. Shit, motherfucker can scrap, man. He got every. What about Broner versus Diego Chavez? That's a good fight, and that will be Broner's toughest competition. And he might fuck around. I fucks with Broner, but he will have to be on his A game with Diego Chavez.
Because he can box and brawl.
He could box and he could fight on the inside. He would literally have to be on his A.
How did Tim Bradley's eye look when he fought him?
Like this. With a little strap hanging off of it. Stupid. And he gave Tim Bradley every part of the work he wanted. Inside, outside.
What about Diego Chavez, Brandon Rios? Who'd you have winning? Because he got disqualified.
Clearly I had Diego Chavez winning. He was chopping the fuck up. He was chopping Brandon Rios up. They gave Brandon Rios that fight. And I fuck with you, Rios, but Brandon, he was fucking him up. And they never even had a rematch, because that lets me know. They both was doing dirty shit.
So Diego Chavez is the wild card.
Is the wild card at the welterweight.
Were you impressed with his performance versus Keith Thurman, even though he lost, obviously?
Hell yeah. That's why Keith Thurman was saying he wanted to see Errol Spence fight Diego Chavez, is because he know that shit was a tough fight. Motherfucker can fight, man. He has every wrinkle of boxing. He could box you on the outside. He could slip you. He could fight you in the pocket. He could fight you all the way on the inside.
Who'd you have winning the Tim Bradley Diego Chavez fight? Because they said it was a draw, I think.
I had it a draw.
That was fair?
Yeah, that was fair. I will have to watch it again. I had it a draw though. I haven't been watching a lot of boxing lately. I've just been watching Canelo. And I haven't been watching boxing at all lately. I've been watching like the fights that come on, but I haven't been studying it. But I'll usually just study Canelo because we have kind of like a similar style, you know. So I've just been watching that.
Speaking of Canelo, final question: May 6th is coming up faster than we think. Canelo looks like he bulked up. Who you picking?
I was gonna say that. I'll say something
Jr.?
about that. Canelo didn't bulk up. He just didn't have to lose the weight. So he didn't actually bulk up. He just didn't have to lose the weight. So,
but I mean, he is having to bulk up just in the sense of he doesn't have to do the weight cut. But that is more of his natural. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, he is. But bulking up would be going up like if he bulked up to 187 and then cut the weight down. But he just didn't. He didn't cut weight. Yeah. He doesn't have to cut weight.
No, I get what you're saying. The reason I say bulk up is because he was restricted from being that big in other fight camps because he wouldn't have made weight.
He just didn't have to make weight, and so now he's going to be way more comfortable, but at the same time, it don't work like that. You get in there with somebody as big as Chavez Jr. is going to be work. For example, my man Aaron Coley is sparring somebody, and all he keeps saying is, did they talk about who Aaron Coley was sparring? Did you talk about that?
No, it's not. Nah.
Okay, yeah, well, Aaron Coley is sparring somebody right now, and all that he keeps saying is, man, he's just so big and it make me tired. And that's what's gonna happen with Chavez. That size is gonna make Canelo kind of tired. But if he can work through that, it's good. Yeah, he wearing a weight vest and all that shit is cool, but you know what I mean? It's gonna be some good work. I like Canelo, man. He really works his craft, man.
He can scrap?
He can scrap. He really works his craft. Look at that shit. See that? You know why I know Canelo?
Hold on.
You know why I know Canelo works his craft? Because I watched Canelo early and I'm watching him now. He's a completely different fighter. So
he's made adjustments?
He's just way slicker and shit, and has gotten better with his shit. Way slicker. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying about the Andre Berto situation. And not to pick on Berto or anything like that, but you got to get better. You got to, whatever your deficiencies are, you got to work on them. Canelo is young, but his deficiency, you know, I guess defense was it. Because every fight, his defense gets better. And you can see he works on it every day. Every time. Look, on these little clips of highlights, everything is about catching and coming back. Slipping and coming back. Catching and coming back. Rhythm. Catching and coming back. Rhythm. Catching and coming back. See that? When you keep doing that over and over, it creates muscle memory, and you do it in the fight. And that's how you get better, man. That's how you get better. Wrap it up.
Since the Mayweather loss.
Shout out to Laura. You want to get a good workout. Since the Mayweather loss. Before the Mayweather loss, he was working on it. It's just that Mayweather.
Has he gotten better?
It's a hard fight. Yeah, he's gotten better. You know what I'm saying? Because he keep fighting. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Hit Fit. You know, we got her getting his work. 11:57. You know what I mean?
It's worse than like short pressure.
It is. It is.
It comes down from over the top of you. That's just hard to keep motherfuckers off.
You know what it is about tall pressure? I'm gonna say this. Another thing too.
So you're talking about Chavez Jr.?
About Chavez Jr. Being at that, depending on how he responds to the weight, because some fighters can make the weight, but it's about performing at the weight. If you can't perform after the weight cut, because of the weight cut, you're gonna get hurt. Some fighters, there's two things that happen when fighters don't respond good at the weight. They don't take punches good, or they can't get off. They just don't have the energy to respond. Kind of like when De La Hoya fought Pacquiao. He couldn't get off. He seen him there, but he just didn't have it in him.
What about Ward Dawson when he came down there?
Yeah, when Dawson came down, that's what he got. You know what I'm saying? That's when Dawson was still at his peak. If he would have fought Dre at 75, would it be? And hey, y'all see me with Dre. You know, I support Dre, but it would have been a different fight because Dawson has that type of skill level to fuck with Dre. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather said it himself. He's the best boxer he ever seen.
Senior or
no,
junior?
Floyd Mayweather Jr. And you know,
Junior said that?
Yes, he did in the interview. He was like Dawson. And shout out to my man Inca from Indiana, but he stay in Florida. He's from Africa or whatever, but he fight too. He said it himself. He said Chad Dawson is Best fighter he ever seen in person, bro. Ever. He said he just raw athletically. 6'3", super long arms. He just got his skill level. His raw athleticism. You know what I mean?
Canelo Chavez.
Canelo Chavez.
Who's winning it?
I don't know. I can't. Chavez can fight. I don't fuck with nobody say. And he big. And he got a chin. So.
Do you have PT to pay for?
I don't know.
Oh, I already did my clients.
Did you?
Yes, I did earlier. I put on the list.
Right.
Do before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I even wrote it down.
I think that, I don't know, man. That's a good fight. I don't know. I don't know. Chavez Jr. I always wanted them to fight. Remember, I used to talk about this shit back in the day. Like, back when we first were doing interviews, I wanted to see them two scrap. Because I just wanted to see it, because it'd be a good fight. And you know what, another thing too, even though Chavez Jr. is big, but he's still coming from that 160. 160. No, he's coming. I'm talking about earlier in his career.
Oh.
I think he was lower than 160. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I could say, you know, the size might not be a problem because he came from a lower weight. But you never know, bro. Canelo is young. He's been active. Chavez Jr. haven't been.
That first clip.
The first clip?
Yeah, that's what he.
Oh yeah. But it just depends on if he healthy at this weight. Cause he could be feeling tired. You see that what he doing with his mouth? He getting his chin ready. It's non-stop. He getting his neck and his chin ready when he do that. When he keep doing that, he getting it. Excuse me. He getting
what type of shape is he in?
He looks like he's in great shape. He's lean. See, look at my body, how it's built. I didn't start out boxing. I got pecs and shit. His body is lean like a boxer. That's like a stereotypical boxing body. No pecs, lats, you know, overdeveloped shoulders. That's what boxers look like. But that's me being on my scientific shit. Y'all not ready for this shit. Hey, what are you looking at?
This man.
So you have no pick?
I have no pick. Because I like both of the fighters.
At 164.5?
164.5, I have no pick.
Okay, so who does the weight benefit more?
Benefits Chavez, because he's a heavier fighter.
Where can the fans follow you?
The fans can follow me on Sports Connect Us. Go on there and download the app. If you don't have an iPhone, you got an Android, you can go on Instagram or Facebook at Killertainment. Follow me. I'm about to be back working out, doing all the crazy workouts. And pretty soon, I'm gonna be back sparring, and I'm gonna be showing you the real shit when I spar.